And winning this prestigious new Property Manager Award, please congratulate Reagan Bradley of Sewell Gardner.
I started with Sewell Gardner 3 years ago after graduating in criminal psychology from Nottingham Trent University. I started as a lettings negotiator, a trainee lettings negotiator, and then I moved to PA to the director, to Jane Gardner, and then I took over management and now I'm head of property management. I never wanted to be a letting agent. It wasn't something I thought I wanted to do or that I would enjoy. And I took the initial role while I had deferred my master's for forensic psychology, and I figured that I would go back, but actually I loved the company and I loved the job and I stayed, and I don't think I'd work for any other agency. I think we're very unique. I love dealing with different people. No day is ever the same. We all see today. We walk in with a plan to do one thing and things come up and you have to deal with them, and there's always some sort of minor emergency going on, and I love that problem-solving side of it.
Firstly, she's very inquisitive. She's probably the most inquisitive member of staff that I've ever had. From the day she walked in, questions. She's not just interested in doing her 9-to-5 job. She's interested in every other job that's going on and why it's happening and how that all fits into the mix. And that's kind of the person that you need to come up through the ranks and to be a star in your company. When she took on the role as head of property management, she trained as a block manager, she trained as a property manager, and she trained as an inventory clerk. So she's done, quite a substantial amount of training and exams to get her to where she is now. And now she's embarking on some more management training because she's taking on more staff and learning all of the HR side of things.
Since Reagan started with us about 4 years ago, she's obviously brought a young spirit into the office, which is very dynamic, and she's quite vibrant. She's always there at the front of everything and gets very involved in social media and marketing. At the same time that Reagan's really professional and very efficient at her job, we're also very good friends, which I think is quite a hard combination to work well together, but she does do that, so it makes us, makes this a good team.
One of our landlords has just brought a new investment, and she wants to move her tenant from her old flat to the new flat because he's a great tenant, and she'd like to put him into the newer property because she knows he'll look after it. He's midway through a tenancy, so we're going to go and get everything signed today at the property. So we're going to do a deed of surrender for the old property, and then we're going to do new tenancy agreements for the new property, and then we'll start remarketing the old property and find new tenants for that. So yeah, she's a fully managed landlord, so obviously we deal with sort of most things on her behalf. And it was a lot easier for us to just go and all meet there rather than have them all come into the office in dribs and drabs.
Her management style, she's very relaxed. She doesn't shout and scream, not in the slightest at all. She encourages, she's very positive, very bubbly, but yet the job still gets done.
The most important things, I think, in order to be a successful property manager is, first of all, your communication with people. You have to diffuse difficult situations, you have to keep calm, you have to have patience when those you're dealing with perhaps don't. In order to deal with the situation effectively, you have to be friendly, you have to be professional at all times. I also find that following through on what you say is a big one. It sounds simple, but the amount of people who don't, it really sets you apart. If you say you're going to phone back, phone back. If you're going to promise to do something, then just ensure that you can do it. Okay, so we're just heading over to Chorley Wood. My inventory clerk Jess is doing an inventory of a brand new property that we have on that we've just let. I'm just going over to check. She's been with us about 5 weeks now, and she's getting on fantastically, but this is a larger house for the ones that she's dealt with typically, so I'm just going to go and check that everything is okay. And we're also meeting the landlord there just to run through a few final details. His tenants are moving in tomorrow. It's the first time he's rented his house through us, so I just want to make sure that everything is, in place and ready for him. He's also actually just become a tenant of ours, so we just want to sort of tie up the whole service.
What's been good is that I've seen on both sides sort of letting a property and letting out a property with Sewell Gardner, and I've been really impressed on both sides, being a property owner and a prospective tenant. The service has been fantastic.
The success of our property management department is due to a number of factors. Firstly, how qualified we all are. Everyone here studies for their ALA, or more recently APIP, because we've brought our inventories in-house. So whoever you speak to, you know that you are speaking to someone who is qualified, as opposed to just one person in the branch who is the figurehead. We keep in touch with our landlords and tenants very regularly, monthly if not weekly, and I think that's quite unusual for property management, especially with as many properties as we have. It does take a lot of work, but it just helps in preempting any issues that are going to arise. We've already dealt with them before it's happened, and I think it's what makes us different. All of our focus is on the customer. So just driving home, it's been a very eventful day. Nothing has gone to plan, as it never does. We had an appointment cancelled this morning, rearranged for tomorrow. And then obviously we had the landlord who was driving down from Gloucester, which booked in at last minute, so obviously had to go and meet him at the property. So I shall carry my to-do list over till tomorrow, although I'm not sure how much of it will get done because things just crop up, but that is the nature of the job. But I'm going to go home and have a large glass of wine.